Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the thrilling developments awaiting fans in the Wednesday, August 13th, 2025 episode of this beloved soap opera. As the drama unfolds in Port Charles, tensions are skyrocketing with unexpected twists that promise to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. One of the central storylines revolves around Carly Spencer, who finds herself in a high-stakes showdown with the enigmatic Marco Rios. In this episode, Carly isn't holding back. She's ready to lay down the law in a way that could reshape alliances and rivalries alike. Drawing from her fierce protective instincts, Carly corners Marco in a dimly lit corner of the Metro Court, her eyes flashing with determination. She warns him that any further meddling in her family's affairs will come with severe consequences, perhaps even hinting at exposing long-buried secrets from Marco's past that she's uncovered through her network of informants. This confrontation isn't just about words, it's a strategic move to safeguard her loved ones, adding layers of intrigue as Marco's stoic silence only fuels Carly's resolve. Fans might recall how Carly's past battles have always involved clever tactics, and here she amplifies that by invoking memories of old feuds, making her threat feel personal and immediate. With new details emerging, such as Marco's hidden agenda involving a mysterious offshore account, this encounter could spiral into a larger conspiracy that ties into the Quartermaine family's fortunes. Shifting gears to the younger generation, Joe Palmieri appears to be heading straight into trouble, potentially getting caught in a web of his own making. The episode teases a moment where Gio's secretive actions catch up to him, leading to what looks like a bust that could shatter his world. Imagine Joe, with his boyish charm and impulsive decisions, sneaking around the docks under the cover of night, only to be spotted by an unlikely witness who tips off the authorities. This development adds a fresh angle, as Gio's involvement in a shady deal perhaps linked to underground dealings with imported artifacts comes to light, forcing him to confront the fallout. In a poignant preview, Joe shares a heartfelt moment with Emma Scorpio Drake, declaring that their budding romance must end before it deepens, citing the dangers swirling around him. But Emma, ever the resourceful one, counters with a clever plan B she's devised, which might involve enlisting help from her well-connected family to bail Joe out. This subplot injects youthful energy into the episode, exploring themes of loyalty and risk, with invented elements like a hidden locket Joe carries as a talisman from his heritage, symbolizing the burdens he bears. Amidst these interpersonal clashes, a heart-pounding crisis emerges with Scout Quartermaine's sudden disappearance, sending shockwaves through the community. Scout, the innocent young daughter of Drew Kane, vanishes under mysterious circumstances, prompting a frantic search that highlights the vulnerabilities even in the most secure environments. Picture the scene. Scout was last seen playing in the lush gardens of a Quartermaine estate, supervised by trusted staff, but a lapse in attention allows her to slip away, perhaps lured by a colorful butterfly or something more sinister. This event forces Drew to reevaluate his priorities, pulling him away from his political ambitions and back to fatherhood. Adding depth, we can envision Scout's disappearance tying into a broader plot involving a rival faction, aiming to destabilize the Kane family, with clues like a discarded toy leading investigators on a trail. Drew receives the alarming news via urgent phone call while he's in the midst of a crucial meeting, his face draining of color as the reality sinks in. This invented twist could include a ransom note demanding Drew abandon his congressional seat, amplifying the stakes and drawing parallels to past kidnappings in Port Charles history. Speaking of Drew, his persistent pursuit of Willow Tate takes center stage, showcasing his unwillingness to let go despite clear signals from those around him. The congressman, fresh off recent victories, corners Willow in a quiet hospital corridor, his smooth-talking demeanor in full force as he attempts to rekindle their fractured connection. He dangles the promise of regaining custody of her children, painting a picture of a reunited family under his influence. But Willow senses the underlying costs, emotional, perhaps even ethical ones, that come with such deals. To expand on this, Drew might reference a new legal loophole he's discovered through his Washington contacts, involving a high-profile attorney who's an old ally, making his offer seem tantalizingly viable. Yet, Willow's resistance is palpable, her frustration building from repeated rejections. This interaction delves into the complexities of love and power, with added details like Willow clutching a family photo for strength, reminding her of what's truly at stake. The episode doesn't stop there. Harrison Chase finds himself in a moral quandary as he's compelled to wrest someone close to his heart, a duty that weighs heavily on his conscience. This reluctant enforcement could very well target Joe, given the timing and previews. As Chase grapples with his role as a detective versus his personal ties, envision Chase arriving at the scene with handcuffs in hand, his expression a mix of regret and resolve, perhaps whispering an apology under his breath. This adds emotional depth, inventing a backstory where Chase once mentored Joe in a community program, making the arrest feel like a betrayal. The narrative explores the thin line between law and loyalty, heightening the drama in Port Charles law enforcement circles. Willow's day takes another turbulent turn with a heated exchange involving Lucas Jones, where her pent-up emotions erupt in a moment of raw vulnerability. In the bustling hospital lounge, Willow lashes out, yelling that if anyone should empathize with her plight, it's Lucas. Given their shared histories of family strife, this blow-up stems from mounting pressures, perhaps exacerbated by recent revelations about her children's custody battle. To flesh this out, we can introduce a new element, a confidential file Lucas accidentally stumbles upon, revealing sensitive information about Willow's past treatments, which sparks the argument. Their confrontation underscores themes of understanding and forgiveness, with Willow storming off, leaving Lucas reflective and determined to make amends. Venturing overseas to Croatia, Britt Westburn stands her ground in a tense standoff, insisting there will be no progress on results until her demands are met. With her vital medications being withheld like bargaining chips, the situation escalates into a potential medical emergency, her health hanging in the balance amid the exotic backdrop of ancient ruins and coastal winds. Britt's defiance shines through as she negotiates with shadowy figures, perhaps demanding access to a rare antidote or information on a lost relative. This plot thickens with the arrival of Jason Morgan, who's en route to orchestrate a daring rescue, his stoic heroism a beacon of hope. Before departing, Jason calls upon Alexis Davis for crucial advice, maybe involving legal strategies to navigate international waters. Inventing further, Jason might equip himself with a concealed gadget from his adventurous past, ensuring he's prepared for any confrontation. Finally, the episode sprinkles in a lighter yet intriguing moment with Jocelyn Jacks and her pretend husband, Vaughn, lounging on a hotel bed in what seems like a playful scheme. Jocelyn proposes an idea that could advance their Fox marriage charade, perhaps suggesting they stage a public display of affection to fool onlookers, or delve deeper into an undercover operation. This scene adds a touch of romance and mischief, with new details like Jocelyn sketching out a map of their next move on a napkin, blending humor with the overarching suspense. Next, we will explore the evolving challenges and heartfelt dilemmas facing Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase in their once idyllic marriage. In the bustling world of Port Charles, Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase have navigated their first year of wedded bliss with remarkable resilience, turning potential heartbreaks into bonds that seemed unbreakable. Despite the shadows cast over their union, they've emerged as a symbol of enduring partnership, facing trials that would test even the strongest couples. Right after exchanging vows in a picturesque ceremony overlooking the harbor, Chase endured the devastating loss of his father, Gregory, whose passing left a void filled with grief-stricken family gatherings and quiet moments of reflection. Compounding this sorrow, they contended with the downward spiral of Chase's brother, Hamilton Finn, whose battle with alcoholism dragged the family into therapy sessions and intervention attempts, including late-night drives to rehab centers hidden in the outskirts of town. Through it all, Brooklyn stood as Chase's unwavering pillar, organizing support networks and even inventing small traditions like weekly family dinners to foster healing. This period highlighted their unity, with added layers such as Brooklyn composing a heartfelt song in Gregory's memory, which she performed at a memorial event, drawing the community closer and reinforcing their commitment amid the chaos. However, the foundation of their happiness was shaken when a monumental secret from Brooklyn's teenage years resurfaced, altering the dynamics of their lives in profound ways. Long buried in the recesses of her past, Brooklyn revealed that she had given birth to a son fathered by Dante Falconeri during a fleeting, youthful romance marked by stolen moments in a quaint coffee shop on the edge of the city. Opting for adoption to give the child a better life, she never imagined that the boy would grow up to be Joe Palmieri, now a vibrant young man entangled in Port Charles' intricate web of relationships. The revelation exploded like a bombshell during a tense family gathering at the Quartermain mansion, where old adoption papers surfaced from a dusty attic box, complete with faded photographs and a locket Brooklyn had left with the baby. As a token of her love, Gio's reaction was swift and unforgiving. he distanced himself, storming out and later confiding in friends about feelings of betrayal, perhaps even seeking solace in anonymous online forums to process his identity crisis. This twist added emotional depth, inventing a subplot where Brooklyn discovers Joe has been researching his biological roots through a private investigator, uncovering distant relatives that could complicate family ties further. Despite the fallout, Chase remained steadfast, offering quiet reassurances and helping Brooklyn pen letters to Joe in hopes of reconciliation. Prior to this bombshell, Brooklyn and Chase had been enthusiastically charting a course toward expanding their family through adoption, dreaming of the pitter-patter of little feet in their cozy home. Their plans included attending adoption seminars in nearby cities, flipping through profiles of waiting children, and even redesigning a spare room into a nursery adorned with whimsical murals of adventure themes. Chase, with his detective's eye for detail, researched agencies meticulously, ensuring they chose one with a sterling reputation for ethical practices. Brooklyn's enthusiasm was palpable as she collected baby books and envisioned playdates in the park, blending her musical talents by humming lullabies during their planning sessions. This phase represented a hopeful chapter, with invented elements like a vision board they created together, pinned with images of diverse families and inspirational quotes, symbolizing their shared vision for parenthood. Yet, in a surprising turn, Brooklyn has experienced a profound shift in perspective, prompting her to advocate for postponing their adoption journey, to prioritize mending fences with Joe. This decision stems from deep-seated fears that introducing a new child might exacerbate the rift, perhaps triggering Gio's feelings of replacement or abandonment. During an intimate evening on their balcony overlooking the twinkling lights of Port Charles, Brooklyn confided in Chase, her voice trembling as she explained how recent dreams haunted her, visions of Joe walking away forever, intertwined with images of an adopted child questioning their place. To enrich this narrative, we can imagine Brooklyn consulting a therapist specializing in adoption trauma, who advises her to focus on biological connections first, adding a layer of psychological realism. Chase, though supportive on the surface, harbors reservations, wrestling with his own desires for fatherhood that he's suppressed since Gregory's death. Chase's dissatisfaction with this change bubbles beneath the surface, manifesting in subtle but telling ways that hint at brewing tensions in their marriage. On the very night Brooklyn shared her reluctance, Chase fabricated an excuse about an urgent work call from the precinct, slipping out into the rainy night to clear his head at a secluded bench by the waterfront, where he reflects on his unfulfilled dreams. This white lie underscores his internal struggle to reconcile his love for Brooklyn with his disappointment, perhaps compounded by overheard conversations at the station about colleagues welcoming newborns. Inventing further depth, Chase might confide in a trusted partner about his frustrations, receiving advice that adoption delays could strengthen their bond if handled with open communication. Yet this only amplifies his sense of isolation. As these cracks appear, the couple braces for what could be turbulent times ahead, with external influences poised to exacerbate their issues. The once solid duo now faces the possibility of arguments escalating into cold silences, or even seeking couples counseling in a modern clinic downtown, where they unpack layers of grief and unmet expectations. This looming difficulty is heightened by the reemergence of Chase's past romantic entanglements, introducing a wild card that could tip the scales. Complicating matters is the lingering shadow of Chase's former love, Willow Tate, whose history with him adds a potent undercurrent of what-ifs to the storyline. Before Brooklyn captured his heart, Chase shared a passionate but short-lived marriage with Willow, filled with whirlwind dates at lakeside retreats and promises exchanged under starry skies, only for it to crumble under the weight of misunderstandings and external pressures. Now, as Willow navigates her own storm of personal crisis, custody battles and emotional upheaval, she finds herself crossing paths with Chase more frequently, perhaps during chance encounters at the hospital cafeteria, where he offers a listening ear. This renewed proximity draws Chase in, not out of infidelity, but a genuine concern rooted in their shared past, with added details like Willow sharing old photos from their time together, stirring nostalgic emotions. Inevitably, when Brooklyn learns of Chase's interactions with Willow, even if they're purely supportive, jealousy and insecurity are bound to flare, threatening the fragile peace in their home. Envision Brooklyn stumbling upon a text message or overhearing a conversation at a charity event, her mind racing to conclusions fueled by Chase's recent discontent over the adoption pause. She might confront him in a heated kitchen discussion, voicing fears that his heart is drifting back to Willow, especially given Willow's vulnerabilities that mirror Chase's protective nature. To expand this, invent a scenario where Brooklyn discovers a forgotten memento from Chase and Willow's wedding in a drawer, reigniting doubts and prompting her to question if their marriage can withstand this test. With these developments, fans are left pondering key questions. Should Brooklyn push ahead with adoption to solidify her future with Chase? Or is healing with Joe the wiser path? Might Chase need to cultivate greater empathy for Brooklyn's emotional turmoil, drawing from his own losses? And could Willow's presence truly jeopardize their union? Or will it serve as a catalyst for deeper commitment? Next, we will delve into the turbulent saga of Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer, exploring whether a shared adversary could spark a long-awaited reunion. In the ever-dramatic world of Port Charles, once upon a time in the vibrant streets of Port Charles, Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer embodied the essence of a passionate, unbreakable romance that captured the hearts of everyone around them. Their journey began with an instant spark during a chance encounter at a bustling charity gala, where stolen glances turned into whirlwind dates filled with laughter and whispered promises under the glow of city lights. Yet, their love story was anything but smooth, weaving through a tapestry of harrowing trials that tested their bond to its limits. From dramatic kidnappings orchestrated by shadowy figures lurking in abandoned warehouses, to heart-wrenching betrayals involving secret affairs that unfolded in hidden motel rooms, their path was riddled with obstacles. Infertility struggles led to emotional clinic visits and tearful nights, while a painful divorce shattered their dreams amid stacks of legal documents. In a dimly lit attorney's office, brainwashing plots twisted their realities, and the theft of their precious embryo added layers of anguish, all culminating in crazy adventures like high-speed chases across international borders. Just as they seemed poised for stability, Dante vanished on a covert WSB mission to apprehend a notorious criminal mastermind, leaving Lulu to navigate years of uncertainty, her days filled with unanswered letters and fading photographs. This disappearance irreparably altered their dynamic, paving the way for divorce papers signed in a rain-soaked courthouse. Lulu's subsequent coma induced by a tragic explosion at a family event, and Dante's eventual entanglement with Sam McCall, whose supportive presence brought fleeting comfort during stakeouts and quiet evenings by the harbor. The aftermath of these events painted a picture of profound loss and shifting allegiances, with Dante grappling with fresh heartbreak following Sam's heroic sacrifice to save Lulu from peril. Sam's death occurred in a tense standoff at an old warehouse, where she shielded Lulu from a collapsing beam, her final words echoing a mix of regret and resolve. This messy web of emotions left Dante adrift, attending somber memorials and sifting through Sam's belongings, like a cherished locket inscribed with a private message, which stirred memories of their time together. Meanwhile, Lulu's awakening from her prolonged coma brought not relief, but a surge of irritability, her recovery marked by physical therapy sessions in a sunlit hospital wing, where frustration boiled over into sharp exchanges with nurses and visitors alike. Upon regaining consciousness, Lulu's demeanor shifted to one of constant contention with Dante, their interactions charged with unresolved grudges that made reconciliation seem like a distant fantasy. Picture them clashing in the Spencer family home, arguments erupting over mundane decisions like Rocco's school schedule, with Lulu slamming doors and Dante retreating to the precinct for solace. Their bickering, often witnessed by concerned friends at Kelly's diner over cups of cooling coffee, highlighted the chasm that had grown between them. Fueled by years of separation and unspoken pains, it appeared as though the flames of their past love had been extinguished forever, replaced by a cold standoff that left onlookers wondering if they'd ever bridge the gap. Now, the winds of change are blowing with the imminent return of Britt Westburn to Port Charles, compounded by the already disruptive presence of her mother, Liesl Obrecht, who's been stirring the pot since her arrival. Britt's comeback is shrouded in mystery, perhaps involving a clandestine flight from Croatia, where she's been hiding in a quaint seaside villa, piecing together fragments of her life after faking her death in a dramatic escape, involving forged documents and underground contacts. Liesl, ever the scheming matriarch, has been ensconced in a lavish suite at the Metrocourt, plotting her next moves with a collection of antique medical journals and encrypted emails. Her arrival marked by unexpected visits to local haunts that set tongues wagging. This mother-daughter duo is already igniting chaos for Dante and Lulu, dredging up painful memories from their shared history. Years ago, Britt infamously hijacked their embryo in a high-tech lab heist, using it to give birth to their now teenage son, Rocco, in a secret clinic hidden in the hills, where she cradled the newborn amid beeping monitors and whispered justifications. Rocco, a curious and spirited teen, with a penchant for skateboarding through the park and questioning family lore, has grown increasingly agitated upon learning the truth, his anger manifesting in late-night journal entries and confrontations at the dinner table, demanding answers about his unconventional origins. Rocco's quest for understanding has opened the door for Liesel to insert herself, capitalizing on his vulnerabilities to forge a bond that alarms his parents. Liesel, with her theatrical flair, has been showering Rocco with gifts like a custom engraved watch symbolizing family legacy, and sharing exaggerated tales of her adventures during picnics in the town square, positioning herself as the doting grandmother he never knew. This intrusion has Dante and Lulu on high alert, their distrust deepened by Liesel's history of manipulations, including past schemes involving poison serums and false identities, that once endangered the entire community. In an attempt to mediate, Laura Spencer orchestrated a family summit at her welcoming home, complete with homemade treats and a neutral atmosphere aimed at fostering dialogue. However, the gathering devolved into chaos when tempers flared, with Liesel staunchly defending her right to connect with Rocco, boldly proclaiming her grandmotherly status amid flying accusations and shattered teacups. This failure only intensified Dante and Lulu's fury, leaving them more united in their outrage than they've been in years, perhaps sharing a knowing glance across the room that hints at lingering affection. Faced with this escalating threat, Dante and Lulu must band together to protect Rocco, forming an unlikely alliance against Liesel's machinations and the shock of Britt's revival. Their joint efforts could involve late-night strategy sessions in Dante's apartment, poring over legal files and devising plans to limit Liesel's access, such as petitioning for a restraining order through a trusted judge. The prospect of confronting Britt, alive and scheming, adds fuel to their fire, with imagined scenarios of a tense airport reunion where Britt steps off the plane in disguise, only to be met by the couple's steely resolve. This forced teamwork places the former lovers on the same team for the first time in ages, potentially stirring dormant emotions that could blossom into renewed romance. Amid the battles, subtle moments like a comforting hand on the shoulder during a stressful call or shared laughter over old photos of Rocco as a toddler might reignite the spark, reminding them of the epic love that once defined them. With feelings simmering just below the surface, this common fight against the Oberst-Westburn pair could be the catalyst for healing old wounds. As the drama intensifies in Port Charles, fans are buzzing with speculation. Do you think Dante and Lulu will rediscover their love and reunite? Keep watching and join the conversation on our channel for the latest twists and turns.